Hello, everybody. So, I have been on a healing and growth journey for probably a little over 2 years now. So, when I was a kid, I went through a series of long term traumatic events. I'm not going to go into any detail about this in this video because, for one, I don't think it's relevant. And two, you know, part of my growth journey is not looking back in the past. I want to start looking forward and focusing on what's happening in this present moment instead of looking back. Kind of like when you're driving, you know, occasionally you kind of glance back to see what's behind you. But if you focus on what's behind you for too long, you'll wreck because you're not looking forward. So, yeah, like I said, I was through a series of traumatic events, and it definitely really affected me more and more as I got older. So, when I was a kid and up to teenage age, basically still a kid, um, I was pretty quiet. I was known as the shy kid, the kid that just didn't talk or didn't hang around anybody. So when I was really little, I started going into school, like preschool, kindergarten. Uh, Teachers thought I literally couldn't talk yet, that I had a hard time speaking. But I knew how to talk. I just didn't want to because I was really shy. So I just went along with it because I was told that's what I had to do. So I went through the speech therapy, and even going farther, getting older, I still didn't really want to hang around people that much. I got bullied a lot and just didn't fit in. It's like I was more of an outcast in my school community from elementary school, middle school, high school. And I guess my whole life, I never really did feel like I fit in anywhere. I always wondered, why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing in life? Because of what I went through, what I had to go through when I was a really young child, that really affected everything in my life. I started dealing with really bad depression and really bad anxiety, nightmares, um, being hyper vigilant, always worried about if something bad is going to happen. Little things that would not usually stress out people, like doing something new, getting out in public, getting involved in a group activity, gave me a lot of anxiety. I felt really tense, hyper vigilant, just kind of my body going in the fight or flight mode. And when I was in high school, I thought that once I graduate and, you know, move, get my own job and stuff, then I can get away from all the problems in my life would be a lot better. Of course, since I was still a kid basically. I didn't was not fully aware on how bad this world could be, on how much harder it is to survive in this world. I mean, high school, middle school, elementary school, come on. When you're still that age going to school, yeah, it can be difficult, but no kid really realizes how hard life can be until they're living and until they're going through life. They're like, whoa. Because I really did think that things would be a lot better. But I was definitely wrong. Because, of course, as my mental health went, I did not get better. You know, things got a lot worse. Because a family home went into foreclosure after my parents divorced. Um, which definitely was a good thing that they did, honestly. But I'm not going to go into any detail about that. But when I was 17 years old, I started smoking marijuana. I got addicted to that. I smoked it pretty much every day until my early 20s, I would say. Um, I didn't realize that was an addiction. Of course, I was in denial about that. I explored other things. I had really bad anger problems because I lacked coping skills. My way of coping was basically getting out of reality and basically not facing my problems. I was running from them, pushing them away and running from them. It's kind of like putting a little band-aid on a gunshot wound and expecting it to get better, which that's not gonna, no, it's not gonna help. But and later on, I got clean from that addiction, and I stopped trying to explore different substances, and I got sober, and started going into therapy, got on right medication to control the PTSD symptoms. I really started going on my healing path. And amongst what I went through in the past, with some pretty bad family problems, parents separating, going in and out of different places, and being homeless on the streets, I learned some lessons that I wish I would have knew from the beginning. Because now I feel like I am in a lot better of a place. Yeah, I'm still healing. These, problems are still going to pop up. Say, hey, I still exist. But it's up to me to continue on with my healing and keep facing these problems and learning how to control my thoughts, my mind. Because every single person has the ability to control their own mind. Because when you learn how to control your own mind instead of your mind controlling you, life would be a lot better. I mean, I know that sounds easy, but it's really not easy at all. It's really difficult. It takes practice just like anything else. Just like learning a new skill, it takes practice. It's, like my husband was telling me that, and the way he told me at the time, at first I was like, well, why would you know? What do you know? Because, me being a woman, this is very common with women, we a woman usually wants someone to listen to them instead of trying to solve their problems for them. But a man, on the other hand, if they come across a problem, they're like, how can I fix this? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want don't want sympathy. I want to know how to fix it. That's one way that men and women differ in that matter. But going on with time, I realized, yeah, my husband's right. I can control my own mind. But when I finally realized that he was right, I was like, yeah, you're right, but I don't like the way you said it. But yeah, he was right. He knows what he's talking about. But yeah, learn how to control your own mind. Refocus onto something else. And one good way to do that is to focus on what you're grateful for. Focus on the good things in life. Because, we all know, or every single person will know eventually on how much evil is actually in this world. Yeah, we all know that there's a lot of bad in this world. It's not much you can do about that, so it doesn't make sense to focus on it because you're going to drive your own self crazy. And it's not going to do you any favors focusing all the bad that's happening to you or all the bad that's in the world. Refocus your mind on the good things that are in the world. Because there is a lot of good. When you start focusing on the good, then your brain will naturally stop focusing on the bad. That is one way to control your mind. Because the thing with trauma and like healing from past experiences, you have to train your mind to think differently. Like refocusing on good things. Coming up with coping skills. Like some people do breath work or maybe some light strength training, going on a walk, getting involved in art, music, sports, whatever. Hobbies do help. And good thing about getting into a hobby, it gives you a feeling of being proud of yourself, feeling good about yourself. Like look what I accomplished kind of thing. It's like, oh, I did this. Start something new. It's like try to get new experiences. Talk with the people that you really care about. Start going out on adventures, like maybe day trips, taking a trip to the park, going on walks, going to your local swimming pool, the beach, wherever, hiking. Because the small moments do matter. I believe the most precious moments in life are the small ones. Because most likely, when you look back, it'll be those small moments that you'll really remember. And, even if you have to open up a notebook and write down everything you're grateful for. Make a gratitude list, or make a list on the good things that you have in your life. And then every single day, open up that notebook and read the things that are good in your life, and read some things that you're grateful for. Every single day, what really helps in retraining your mind away from the bad things, to look in the mirror and say at least one thing that you're grateful for. And also, people call it positive affirmations. Look in the mirror and say something good about yourself. Look at yourself over and say something good about yourself. I mean, sometimes if you've been put down a lot, sometimes it's really hard to see the good in yourself. That's because your brain is trained to see the bad. So, just like even looking at a part of yourself that you don't like, find the positive thing in the bad. Like, as a teenager, I didn't like my eyebrows. I had an issue with them. I thought, oh, they're too thick, But then looked at them, looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, oh, yeah. I have nice eyebrows. I am beautiful. I am nice. I am smart. Whatever. Say something good about yourself every single day. And say out loud what you're grateful for every single day. When you go on a walk or go to the store or whatever, look around and start noticing the good things around you. Because gratitude is definitely something that will help a person retrain or rewire their brain. Because, trauma does live, in the body, in the mind. You could retrain your brain, rewire your brain to not revolve itself around the trauma. Yeah, it definitely is a process, and in most cases, it is a good idea to go through trauma informed therapy with a professional therapist. And it's very common for people to need to see a psychiatrist to get on some medicine to help them with the PTSD symptoms or whatever they're dealing with. That doesn't mean you gotta stay with them forever, on them forever. That's up to what the psychiatrist is telling you. So, healing is definitely a process, but I believe the first step is accepting that something bad happened and seeing a therapist and a psychiatrist. But trauma informed therapy definitely is helping me a lot. It's helping me refocus my brain, and it's helping me rewire my brain and start refocusing my attention on something good instead of the past. But yeah, I mean, there's, even when I do get a flashback, I just pops up. You can't stop that from happening. But you can learn how to deal with it after it comes up. As yeah, the body goes in the fight or flight mode, reacts like, hey, something bad is happening. But you can learn how to get your body out of the fight or flight mode and tell your brain and your body that, yeah, I'm safe. One way that really helps me is taking a few deep breaths, in through your nose for 4 seconds, out for 6 seconds. Breathe out of your mouth. And I'll look around me and start naming stuff around me. It's like, yeah, there's a lamp over there, the vacuum cleaner, carpet, water bottle, the door, curtain. Just start naming stuff out loud that's around you. And even start naming stuff you smell, like how your body feels. Yeah, I feel cool. I'm sitting down on the couch. My feet are on the floor. Wearing socks. Just start naming stuff, and that will bring your brain and your body back into the present moment. And will get you out of that flashback mode, is basically what I call it. Some people get into some sort of grounding or mindfulness meditations or whatever. Find what works for you. And even some people get into religion or spirituality. I got closer to God. I'm a Christian. So my faith has definitely helped me along the way. That's not me saying that you have to believe in what I believe in. That's just me stating what's helping me. So find what helps you. And yeah, I believe healing is always possible. There is hope. You don't have to stay stuck in the trauma. You can heal. You can get better. It just takes time and patience. And one thing that also helped me was I started taking accountability for my own actions along the way. Because I was mentally unstable and of my anger issues, I did hurt people that I cared about. I hurt family members, I hurt friends. I even had lost friendships because I could not properly cope with my own trauma and regulate my own emotions. And I can understand why they left, or why people feel the way they do about me, because yeah, I hurt them, and I took accountability for my own actions and apologized to the people that I could apologize to. But I know apologizing isn't always an option, and that's okay. But I started taking accountability for my own actions and found a way to forgive the people who hurt me. I forgave the people who traumatized me. And once I learned how to forgive, that took a large weight off my shoulders. Because if you don't forgive somebody, that's not hurting them any. That's only hurting you. Like, what is that doing for you? You know, it's, yeah, I used to have a lot of hate for the people who really hurt me. But that was only hurting me. And once I, forgave them and got rid of the hate that I had for them, that really helped a lot. And I found a way to love everybody, even my enemies, basically, even the people who hurt me. And that is a big thing that really helped me, was learning how to forgive and learning how to love. Love is a very powerful thing that is hard to explain, but love is very powerful. It can heal anything. But if every single person in this world learned how to love one another, this world would definitely be a better place. I mean, like I said, you can't control what's going on in the world. So, don't focus on all that. Focus on the good things. Like, I live in the Appalachian Mountains. I love the nature here. The mountains, the trees, the views, the nature, the countryside. It's all beautiful and peaceful to me. I really enjoy walking along a pond or lake or creek and just pausing for a minute and listening to all the sounds, like the birds, the wind blowing through the trees, the water flowing down the rocks. It's like all that I am truly grateful for. I'm truly grateful that I could be around all this like beautiful Appalachian nature. Even finding the beauty around you in your local area, that really helps. Because I know it's very common for people to notice the bad things that are happening in their community. Like focus on, oh, it's like some of these people, don't do this, that, or whatever. But there's problems in every single area. It's like, yeah, you could let those problems make you want to move to a different area, but that different area is going to come along with its own problems. So I'm not saying it's bad to move somewhere else. I mean, that's great if you want to do that. But what I am saying is, instead of focusing on the bad, focus on the good. And that could really help you heal. Gratitude, focusing on the good in this world, forgiving one another, loving one another, refocusing your mind onto something else when bad thoughts come up. Yeah, it's not easy to do all this when you start. It's not easy. And honestly, it would be a good idea to focus on one at a time. I focused on first I focused on taking accountability on my own for my own actions and learning how to forgive myself and basically reminding myself that yeah, I'm human just like everybody else. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We all hurt people sometimes. Like, we are all a villain in somebody else's story. Nothing you can do about that. Everybody, no matter what you do, people are going to always see a problem with whatever you do. That don't matter. When another person thinks about you really does not matter. You can't control their free will. You can't control what they're going to think. So it's like, whatever. Don't matter. It's not relevant. It's not, worrying about that is not going to help you any. Find what makes you happy and do it. Get around the people that you love. Get around people and start connections with people. Even it's like getting a dog, a cat for the animal lovers. Do what makes you happy. Find what fulfills you. Find something that gives you purpose. Could be anything. You just gotta keep going and search for it. Ride the waves instead of the waves taking you. No, life is complicated for everybody, but if you think about how complicated it is, then you're going to drive yourself crazy with that too. But go along on your own path. Find what makes you happy. Think of the good things. Refocus your mind. And I really hope that every single person that is going through trauma learns how to heal and finds out that they can control their mind. I really hope that all of you have a good day, have a good life. I wish you all well, and you can do it. You can heal. You're not, even if you feel like you're stuck, there's always a way through it. There always is. And I will pray that every single person finds their light. Well, thank you for watching. I hope this helps. And like I said, go seeking help from a psychiatrist and a therapist is not a bad idea. Yeah, there's some, don't let anybody tell you that, oh, it's not a good idea. Sometimes stuff like that cannot be helped. Just like seeing a doctor for whatever. It can't be helped. Don't be afraid to ask for help. In fact, asking for help, it takes strength to ask for help. Because in this world, it is not easy to ask someone for help. But I wish you all luck, and I hope everybody finds their path and their light. I hope everyone has a good life.